What is up, guys? It's Mitch or Deity, and we just had a crafting event start in Epic 7. So those of you guys that are new to the game, you don't know what this crafting event is, or maybe you're a casual player and don't know too much about it, I'm going to go over what I think are the best choices and how this works. Okay, so to start it, you need to immediately go to events, and you need to activate it, right? So once you click Craft Your Best Gear Part 1, you hit Participate. Once you finish Part 1, Part 2 will open. So with Part 1, you are going to be able to do a left side piece of gear. You have the ability to do swords, helmets, and chest. So the ranking of this is chests are the easiest piece of gear to get in the game. I do not suggest getting chest from this. Now, if you're a new player, then I'm going to suggest general pieces that you can go for that are going to be whatever. If you're an experienced player, you don't need this video. You are just going to go for what you know you need. So this is generally for getting that weird offset piece that you would never farm for. So like an Amiki piece, a piece that needs attack and effect res, or things like that. So you would go for those style of pieces. But for a new player, getting a generalized piece that is good on more than just a single use character is the ideal thing to do, because that piece will be usable forever on your account, and you can switch depending on what is in meta and what characters you pull. You just switch that piece of gear over to another character. So chests are the easiest, swords are second easiest. Swords I don't really suggest getting from this either. I always get helmets personally. Swords are the second easiest piece of gear to craft. Now the actual, like, I would say all the rest are about the same difficulty. Helmets are pretty much just as hard as right side gear, are very close to it, because helmets can roll every single stat except for flat HP, whereas swords can't roll defense, defense percent, or flat attack, and chests cannot roll flat defense, attack percent, or flat attack. So both of those two pieces can't roll certain stats, so it makes it to where it's much easier to get a combination of stats that is good, whereas helmets can roll anything. So I always suggest going helmet. Okay, now with the set, for a new player, the best sets you can do are speed set. You don't have to think about it. If you do a banger speed set piece of gear, it's going to be usable forever on your account. You can use it on 95% of the characters in the game, depending on if you go for a damage piece or a survivability piece, a support piece. So with this, speed set's number one. The second two best options that I would do if you're a new player, just general piece, would be a destruction piece with pure damage, or a penetration piece with pure damage. I'll show a couple examples that you can copy here shortly. Okay. Well, good morning, insert text. So these are the general best ones. Now, if you have a specific character and you do your research as to what gear they use, then you can kind of break away from the first suggestions and say you have the new Hua Young. Maybe you want to go counter set. Counter set would be fantastic. If you get exactly what you want with counter set, could be a good option to do. You just need to know what stats you want. So the way I'll explain how it works, you put stats into whatever rolls, and you get to decide how the piece of gear rolls, and it rolls 103 equipment score, which is very, very good. These are going to be some of the best pieces of gear on your account for the life of your account. Now, immunity set would also be great. Immunity set, you're not going to farm too much of it, and having a really good immunity piece, especially right now in the meta, for PvP, immunity is very important to put on your Bloodblade Corinne, to put on your Janua. Immunity is taking over on a lot of characters, especially damage dealers that are weak to seal, because Archdemon Mercedes got a buff and she's super strong. So immunity would be really good. Or a lifesteal piece. Say you have a afternoon soak flan and your build's getting pretty good, but you're like, man, my helmet on her sucks, or my sword on her sucks, and I could go get a 103 equipment score with no wasted stats, and I know I need a lifesteal piece. That's when you like kind of switch off to decide what you're going to get if you have a character for it. Now, with this, I do not know what I'm going to be doing yet, but you can reset this. So let's just say I'm going to go for a, say counter. Okay, let's go for a counter helmet with high attack. And because I could probably utilize that. So I'm going to say I want counter gear. Okay, once you do that, you're going to select a piece. Again, sword, middle tier value, chest lowest value, and helmet highest value. Helmets would be the number one thing I'd suggest to everyone to get. Okay, once you get that, then you're going to select your substats. Okay, so your substats are going to vary depending on the character you want. So if you're building a just general damage dealer piece, you're going to go attack percent, speed, crit chance, crit damage, right? This is going to be your go-to picks for any damage dealer. right? Now, unless it is a HP based damage dealer. So depending on who you're building it on, you need to decide or figure out if it's an HP based damage dealer, defense based, or attack percent. Most characters are attack percent. A good chunk are HP percent. There's only like 3 defense percent characters in the game. So this is the general thing you will go for here. So, but if you maybe don't need speed on it, and like so for Hua Young, I want some HP on it. So if I was making a Hua Young piece, this is what I would do. I'd go attack, crit rate, crit damage, and health. This would be the perfect piece for her. Now, if you're going a speed set helmet, then you go speed, because this is a way you can get a guaranteed 17 speed piece of gear. 17 speed isn't the fastest in the world, but it may be one of your only 17 speed pieces. So going for the speed here, if you're going speed set or penetration set, is very, very good. But since I'm going for Hua Young, I'm going to go for this. This would be the perfect piece of gear for her. I'd put a bunch into attack. You can, you can decide which order the pieces stats are in, I believe, but I think it rechanges them at the end. But let's just go with this, because you are able to reset and double check it to make sure. And once you're done with that, you'll come here. So the way this works is every single day you can upgrade a substat, right? So you can choose whichever substat you want to upgrade first. So for this, let's say we're going to go attack first, and then you earn points. And so whatever you decide, you have to spend points every single day, and this will take you 15 days, right? So every day you upgrade at 1 level, and it'll take you 15 days total to finish the event. And then you'll start part 2. But I'll show a couple examples right now as to the gear. Now, but before I go do that, let's talk about the right side gear. Right side gear doesn't matter which one you pick. They're all hard. You just need to make sure, the biggest thing with this event, make sure you make a good piece of gear that's either specialized on a specific unit, or more preferably a piece that can be used on a million different characters, right? If you make a piece that could be used on any kind of general character, you're going to get more use out of it. Now, with that, I'll show the examples now of what I've done in the past. So these are 2 general basic damage pieces. So for my account, I did this pen piece. I did not go crit chance on it or crit damage. I just went pure attack and pure speed. So you get to put 5 different rolls into it. I put 3 rolls into speed, 2 into attack, and this is what the piece looks like. Okay, 103 equipment score, very, very good. Now, if you choose a flat stat, which we'll show in a second, your gear score will be a little bit lower, but it still has insane value. But the only time you'll do a flat stat is usually on your right side gear for damage dealers. So this is a example of a penetration piece. Now here's a speed set piece. Again, we go 17 speed, but since I know my account is lacking crit chance and I have a bunch of pieces that have high speed with attack and higher crit damage, I went with a pure crit chance piece because this is more valuable, right? This having crit chance, this makes it to where all my other pieces, I don't have to worry about crit chance as much. So this just balances a lot of my characters out. Now, some right side example pieces is this was a specific piece I went for at the time, and this is an example of what can kind of hurt you. If you go for a specific piece that is a weird set that only has a couple use cases, I went for an injury set boot. My idea was this could be used on Bellion. This could be used on Edward. So Edward Elric from the Full Metal Alchemist collab, I built this for him, and it was really good while Edward was in meta. Now Edward's, from the release of Dragon Bride Senya and Janua and BBK, my Edward now sees almost no play. And this piece, I have to put it on a meme character. So I have 2 ML Landies, and one of them is on Injury Holy Sack. So this was a piece that kind of was a mistake, because for right now, I don't have a lot of use case for it. But if I would have went speed set, this is a super good speed set piece. But this would be like an example of an HP scaling damage dealer speed boot. Okay, this was a fantastic example of it. Now, these kind of already given to you pieces from other events are good kind of pieces that you can see what a good stat line is. So say you want to do a speed or immunity necklace. You're going to go crit damage, and then if you are on, say, speed set, you go crit damage, you can go 17 speed, and then you do attack and crit chance, and your last stat do either, if you want to do flat attack, you can, or you can do HP or defense percent. Okay, usually you will do HP or defense percent. That will give you more gear score value. But if you have a pure nuking character that you just say a Eternal Wonder or Ludwig, if you do Eternal Wonder or Ludwig, you'll probably just do flat attack on him, 17 speed, and you know the only use case of that character is you either win the game because he deals enough damage, or you die because you didn't do enough damage. So getting that little bit of extra attack there could be way more value on him. But this is a good example of another style piece you get. Now, if you wanted to go for a pair of boots, this is one of probably my highest suggestion to everyone, is go for either a speed set, boot that looks like this, a penetration boot that looks like this, or for me, I think a torrent set boot that looks like this would be great too. Okay, having the 33% attack, I did flat attack on it because this can be used on any high damage character that is just general nuker. Again, the Eternal Wonder Ludwig could use this, Arbiter Villager could use this, any damage dealer can use this piece. So this would be a fantastic thing for any new player to go for. You will always be able to use this, especially if you do it on speed set. But penetration set is nice because you may not have that much pen gear. So make the choice, but just know speed set is the safest thing to go for in this event. But you lose out on the opportunity of getting an offset piece. Now, another style piece that'd be really good to get would be a support character boot. So last year during this event, Laya had this, which was really good. Okay, Laya, we had this event, and on Laya, you could go 33% HP boot with the 30% defense or whatever it was. Super, super good. And then for your other stats, it didn't matter, but you can go pure HP on the piece with some defense, and your Laya was going to get a big boost. This is really similar to the kind of piece that you would get out of it, but I'm obviously missing some stats because the gear of this wasn't guaranteed. So another really good piece you can go for would be the high HP, high defense boot. Or if you have a character that wants effect res, you could go the same style and you can just go effect res boot, right? That would be really good too. So those are the common suggestions I would say to do for this crafting event. Definitely take advantage of it. I know E7, for a lot of you old players, isn't in the most exciting spot right now. You're not going to have as much fun now as like normal. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm aware of that. But make sure you're at least doing your dailies and doing this because there's also some other events going on that are really good right now. That's not the event. That's not the event. It's this event. You get 2 gold transmits per day just for doing content, right? So 2 gold transmits per day. Please make sure you're at least still playing. I know the game's in a tough spot, but all these rewards are very good. Okay, you wanna get all of that you can, and you get 1,000 free sky stones for logging in at least. So try to get that stuff. But just one last real quick thing is, so if you're curious about how you earn points, this is how you earn points. Your daily reputation, you'll get 50 points. Your weekly reputation is going to give you 2,800. So if you haven't finished your weeklies yet, you're in a good spot because you're going to be 2,800 points ahead. Now, the event lasts for 60 days and it only takes you 30 days to finish the event. So you have some time to slack off and you have some time to finalize your decision. Okay, you don't have to finish it right away. And then you use 100 energy, you get an extra 5 points, and that's just how it ends up going. Now, for how the event works, you have to have 700 points for enhanced equipment. So as long as you do your weeklies, you have 4 days done just for your weeklies. Okay, your weeklies will finish up four of your days. That's really nice. And then to reset it, it does cost a little bit of points. And to confirm it costs 2,000 points though. So technically you can't finish it in 30 days. It'll take you a little bit longer depending on how much you play. But the usual thing with this is this takes people around 35 to 40 days to finish. And as long as you're doing everything, you'll be good to go. You do not want to miss this gear. Again, these are going to be some of the best pieces of gear on your account. So definitely take advantage of this. Just had like a heart murmur. Okay, so that is all I have for this video. Sorry, I just had like a minor, I thought I was having a heart attack there. Coffee might not be for me. So thank you for watching. It's been Mitch or Deity, and I will see you all in whatever the next video is. If you guys have any questions regarding this, you can go down and join the Discord and ask in there. The Discord will help you out with the gear event, and that should be all you need. So thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.